Welcome back everyone. Today we have a pretty amazing render going on. Today we are going to create a pretty nice looking abstract using some end cloths and some dynamics, and that's it. So let me show you what we are going to be creating. So we are going to be creating this squishy cloth bags, or you can say balloons kind of look, wrapped in a box, and you can pretty much animate this. We are going to animating this, and you can render this out and have fun with it. So let's see how we can do this. So I'm going to start off by taking a simple box, and I'm going to scale this up to something right about there, and let's select the top face, Control E, extrude this down, Control E again, bring this down to about right here, and go to object mode. Turn off the grid, and from here let's take a simple sphere, and from the top view I'm gonna go here to the top view and select 4 to see the wireframe, and just duplicate this randomly and change the scale. So I'm gonna hit Control D, increase the size, Control D, decrease the overall size. Alright, so I'm here in the front view just checking if the spheres are colliding with the overall geometry or not. So here you'll see that we have some collision going on. If I turn off the grid, you can see this is the overall collision, and we have to fix this. So what we can do is bring this up just about here, and instead we can select these vertices and bring these down as well. Alright, so this looks pretty good. So from here we are going to go into the FX menu, go to end cloth, passive collider, and all of these will be the end cloths. So I'm going to select these, all of them, and simply go to end cloth and create end cloth. So if I play this now, they all fall and we have something like this. Pretty good looking, pretty amazing. And from here let's take a simple plane. Now the problem with this is if they kind of inflate, they will get out of the box, and we don't want that. So instead what we are going to do is we are going to use this plane as our trapping object. So I'm going to scale this up, bring this up to right about there. Here you'll see it's not colliding, so right about there, and we don't need that much subdivision, so I'm going to make this 1 and 1, and from here we can make this as a passive collider as well. Now obviously we can see this, we can't see our spheres, so we have to hide this. So simply select your plane, polyplane, plane, and visibility. There you go. So even though the visibility has been turned off, it will still be active in the dynamics way. So from here we need the inflation, right? So how we can create those inflation? I'm going to select one sphere, go to the end cloth shape, and from here we are going to, instead of taking any preset, I'm going to get into the dynamic properties and reduce the overall stretch resistance to somewhere about 2, compression resistance to maybe like 1, and mass to maybe like 0.3. From here I think the rest is pretty good. I'm going to increase the damp to 0.2, and in the pressure I'm gonna increase the pressure to about 5. Let's see how that reacts. So we have something like this. I think the overall pressure is a bit too much, so I'm going to reduce this. Alright, so this looks pretty good. Now obviously applying this same setting again and again on each and every sphere is pretty hectic. So in the last video we saw how we can create custom preset for our cloth. So I'm going to be using exactly that method by going to preset, and we are going to say save end cloth preset, and I'm going to call this new flat 5 and save attribute preset. That's it. So from here I can select my sphere here again and go to preset and select new flat 5, replace, and there you go. So I'm gonna select the another sphere, hit G to repeat the same command, and see if that works. If the command is not repeating, you can simply select it manually as well. Alright, so as you can see we have created this kind of look here. Let's take a simple camera here and bring this up, rotate this about here. Let's call this -90 degrees, and bring this up somewhere about here. Let's go to camera view, select your camera, bring this up, and I think I've chosen a 1K preset. Yes, so I'm gonna lock it about here, and let's go to Arnold and let's see this. So looks pretty good. I'm gonna close this. Alright, so a few things before getting into the final rendering. I'm using a pretty low subdivision. This is a default subdivision, 20 by 20. So before getting into the final catch, I highly suggest smoothing this by going to mesh and smooth. And if you are happy with the result, if you want to catch the simulation, you can go to FX, and you can simply go to Ncatch, create new catch, and then an object that will create the whole catch. Here you can see the simulation running. So that's it. Apart from this, I'm gonna quickly make this 30 and 30. Alright, apart from this, the one thing you need to know is how you can create a render sequence of this. So go to your render settings. Here I'm using a GPU version of this, and 1K resolution. If you want, you can increase the resolution as well. And here in the file output, you have to choose a different extension instead of single frame, something like maybe this. And here you will select how much frames do you want. For example, for me it will be from 1 to 30 frames, and that's it. And if you're happy with everything, all you have to do is go to the rendering menu, go to render sequence, click on this box. You can browse your folder where you want to render this, select your camera and hit render in sequence, and that's it. So do some amazing lighting on this, do some amazing shading on this, and play around with this, have fun with this, and let me know what you come up with. So that's it for this one, and I'll see you in the next video.